In Malachi 3, verse 8 through 10, Yah speaks of the nation of Israel robbing him. And this lesson that I'm going to be reviewing today is to show you where and how and why Yah says this. So let's look into it. Let's just go right into it. There's many scriptures to prove and show you exactly where we are robbing him, we as a nation. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8. Will a man rob Elohim? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? So we're wondering where, okay? In tithes and in contributions. So this verse answers the question it asked. We're robbing him in tithes and contributions. And then it further says, you are cursed with a curse. So because we don't give the tithes and the contribution, we are under a curse. So it looks like not given is a sin. Because if you don't give, you're on a curse, the whole nation. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith. So Yah wants us to prove him by bringing the tithes for the storehouse, so there can be meat in his house, and to see if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out privileges to you, blessings basically, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. So Yah says when you give 10%, which is the tithes, which I will explain, you will get so much that you will have no room to put it. So he's going to give you so much, you're not going to know where you're going to put the stuff he's going to give you. So let's get into it. Don't forget to download the app, iThoughty, and visit iThoughty.com. Looking into Genesis 28:20, we learn how Jacob, which is really called Yi'akab in Manakati, he vowed a vow to give Yahweh 10%. So if you are of the seed of Israel, aka Jacob or Yi'akab, you are under the oath to give 10%. Let's read Genesis 20. And Yi'akab vowed a vow, saying, if Elohim be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and remnant to put on, so that I may come again to my father's house in peace. Then shall Yahweh be my Elohim, and this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be Elohim's house. And of all that thou give me, I will surely give the 10th unto thee. So he said of everything that Yah gives him. So it's not just food that you grow out there, or it's not just cattle. It's everything that Yah gives him. So if Yah were to have given Yi'akab 10 shekels of silver, Yi'akab would have to give 1 shekel to Yah, according to this vow, because he said, of all that thou givest. So it's things of value. I just want to be clear. So what is a tithe? Tithes is 10% of increase of food and cattle. This is what you read in Nehemiah chapter 10 and 39. But tithes is not just food and cattle, because food and cattle back in the day was considered money. So food and cattle is money. But today, dollars, euros, etc., basically debt money is money. And so we don't work directly for food and cattle. We work for money, which is, dollars and euros to us now. And that buys us food and meat if we eat that, and houses and whatever we need. But let's read Nehemiah 10, verse 39. For the children of Yisrael and the children of Lewi shall bring the offering of corn and of new wine and the oil unto the chambers, where are the vessels of the sanctuary. And the priests that minister, and the potters and the singers, and we will not forsake the house of our Elohim. So basically, the children of Israel and the children of Levi together, we're supposed to support the priests and the potters and the singers. So we're not going to abandon Yah's house. So they need food to do their work, their ministry. The priests do work. Right now, we don't have an official kingdom, an official place where we call our own, because we are in exile. But we do have ministers. We do have preachers. Okay. I am a preacher. I'm preaching the word to you. Okay. I'm not a priest. Okay. I look at the symbols because I'm Aitari. I'm prophesied to bring the Manakata language. I look into the scriptures, and I have to tell you what the words mean, and the interpretation of it, and to show you when the translators are lying. Okay, this is a work. This work that I do is not being supported. Okay, but Yah's house always got support. Okay, if we did have a kingdom, you can be sure that I would be on the payroll, because my work is important. My work helps to bring the Torah um, to your house. Okay, I can tell you when the translators are lying and what the interpretation means, because I'm showing you the hand signs. Okay, and so you're supposed to bring offering to Yah, and I'm going to explain how and where we're supposed to bring it. Okay, I could just say it right now. Because we don't have an official place, a kingdom, and we don't have our priesthood set up, that does not mean you don't put 10%, because the work is still there. The truth needs your funding. The reason why the Christians, they're doing so well, is because they always preach about giving 10%. Okay, you need money to do the work that is required. Now, the book that I brought out, Primitive Sign Language, it took me 7 months of work to do, but it's called Volume 1. I have Volume 2, which is going to require maybe 3 times the effort, and I'm trying to put all my time into it, but I don't have support. So I released Primitive Sign Language Volume 1 2 years ago. It's 2022, and I'm not that far into book 2. I thought that I would get the support. I am getting support. I don't want you to be deceived. People are waking up to the Manakata language. Do not be deceived. My book is moving, and it's being sold. I sell my books on my website, Primitive Sign Language, but a lot of it goes to Amazon. Amazon's making the money. I'm not getting that support. The support is very low. When I do promotions, people are jumping on Amazon. I get $6 from Amazon. My book is being sold for $25. I don't get the bulk of the money. Amazon gets it. My book is also available in bookstores. If you walk into a bookstore and ask for my book, they may or may not have it on the shelf. You ask for it, they can get it. So my book is available all around the world. But the support, it's moving slowly. Like, people aren't waking up that fast. And when they do believe me, they're not buying the book. There's one woman who is not buying the book, but she follows me. She's just waiting for the third edition. I'm not doing the third edition of my Volume 1 book until I'm done with Volume 2. So although I speak about the third edition, it's not coming out anytime soon. I'm leaving that book alone until I can get Volume 2 done. Where is the support? When you do support me, you have to come directly to me to buy the books, so it can come to me. Okay, but the support, I need funds to write my book, and that's the whole point. The work that it needs to be done, even though we don't have a kingdom, still needs to be done. People need to wake up. There are many people who are sleeping, and they don't know who they are. They need to wake up. The efforts of the people who preach the word, it's not just me. I'm not the only one. There's other people. They need your support. If they're going out and giving you truth, you should, send them something. Send them something, because they're taking out their time from their family and from having fun. They could be watching a movie. They're taking out their time. You should support them. So even though we don't have a kingdom, there is 10% that needs to be allotted. And I say, let's all do this. I'm guilty too. I haven't been putting aside, and it's been in my heart, but it's like, we just need to stop. We need to stop our lives, because Yah said he was going to give us increase, and we're not giving. We are under a curse. I'm under a curse. You're under a curse, because we're not doing this thing. Okay? We need to put 10% aside. And I'm not telling you to go give it to those false preachers. I'm not saying that, because I'm going to review what the tithes are for. And I already said in Nehemiah chapter 10:39, you see the tithes don't go just to the priests. It goes to the potters and to the singers, but it goes to more people. I'm going to continue this lesson, and you're going to see, but we do need to put aside 10%. I say open up a bank account, put aside 10%, and then distribute it accordingly. Okay? Use your wisdom. I have an idea that I'm going to tell you at the end of this. I don't want to take up too much time. I want to show you the understanding, but I'm going to bring it up at the end. My idea, what we should do with our 10% to get things going. We need to fund the truth. The truth needs your support. Now, the reason Jacob, which many of you know as Jacob, gave 10% is because he knew his grandfather Abraham gave 10%. This is written in Genesis 14 and 20. And blessed be Al Aliun, which hath delivered thine enemies into thine hand, and he shall give thee tithes of all. So before Yisharal was a nation, Abraham gave 10%. Do you honor Yah by not giving? Proverbs 3 verse 9. Honor Yahweh with thy substances. So this is how we honor him. If you're not giving him anything of all that he gives you, you're not in honor. And with the first fruits of all thine increase. So you see here, it's not just with the food you grow, it's with thy substance and the food you grow. So there is a doctrine going out that when with that tithes is not money, but tithes is money, and it's also stuff you grow. It's 10% of everything Yah gives you. Okay, and should those who do Yah's work lack, beg, or come out of pocket? Okay, I often, but not all the time, at the end of my videos or in the middle, I say, don't forget to support me on Patreon/Batya. Patreon.com/Batya. I do get hate for that. People don't want me, after I give them all this precious information, they don't want me to ask for a donation. But should I even ask? Shouldn't you know to give reward to those who do work, especially for Yah? Shouldn't you know that? Okay, but if I ask, should you attack me for asking and saying, because I asked, that's your sign that I don't have truth? That is some baloney. It's nonsense. Because just because someone asks for a donation and you don't want to give, that doesn't mean they don't have truth. It means they need your support. Okay, many people are grudgingly given. Okay, and they just want free. But my time is not free. I rob from my children to give you this information. Right now, I'm making this video. I could be sitting with my daughter, seeing what she's up to. I could be like, hugging my dogs. I could be making a sandwich. Okay, but instead, I'm bringing out this information that you need. Who's giving you this information that I'm coming out? Again, if this information that I have is something you knew and you don't need it, why are you here? So you obviously need it. Okay, I'm bringing out information you don't have. Sometimes maybe maybe you know half the stuff I'm bringing out, maybe you know most of it, and I'm just adding to it. Either way, you're here, and it's work to do these videos, and I want to do these videos. I love doing these videos, but it is time. I need your support. There has been so much that I've wanted to do, and it's just the support is just not there. But I come out of pocket, and in essence, I'm worse than a whore if I'm coming out of pocket. If I'm giving you information and I'm paying for my website, paying for my apps every single month, I'm paying for, my domain names because I need a place for the information to go. I'm paying for Venmo. I have to pay the yearly fee because I sometimes am censored on YouTube. I got to fight that with Venmo. And Venmo, it helps me. I like Venmo. It's a paid platform, but paying for stuff allows you to have control. So I don't like free all the time. When it's free, they add advertisements, it glitches. I like paid for things where quality was put in. I like to put out quality. So I like quality, and quality requires support. Okay. And so the money you give me on Patreon, thus today, it does help to pay for all those things I mentioned, but I do come out of pocket. I am in the negative according to what I'm giving out. And the book that I wrote, you guys are supporting me, and thank you. Okay. But like I said, people are jumping to Amazon. Amazon's making my money. The money that I could be making that could be supporting what I'm doing. And I don't know how to go around it. The more promotions I do, the more Amazon makes. And it is what it is. I can't shut off Amazon because it's a way to get out the truth. and Amazon is more affordable for me to print the books. Another venue, they're charging me too much. My book is over 400 pages. They're charging me a lot. And so it's like, yes, I can use them, but I am saving with Amazon, but then I'm trying to figure this out. Anyways, the support is coming to me, but it's not really helping me. It's just, I'm like, I'm just making it meet, and I'm not being rewarded for my service is what I'm telling you. The contributions my way is not enough for me to buy pizza for my family. Okay, it's enough for me to support the website, and then I have to do the rest. But let's look again. Let's continue with this lesson, because this is a long lesson. I have a lot of scriptures to bring out to you. Deuteronomy 26:12. When thou hast made an end of tithing, and all the tithes of thine increase, the third year, which is the year of tithing, thou shalt give it. Okay, not just for the priest, unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within thy gates and be filled. So the tithes did not just go to the Levite. Okay, and the brothers who have these congregations, let's just say Nathaniel 7, he's not a Levite. Doesn't he say he's a Gadite? We're not given to the Levites. Okay, we have not established our kingdom, and we're supposed to. Tithe is supposed to be there. And when you see the signs of somebody being put in a position, he's supposed to be supported. If you see it, we're supposed to support it. Okay, just like you see that I'm bringing the language, it's supposed to get adequate support. Okay, I'm not supposed to be begging or lacking or being hungry, and I'm teaching the word of Yah. You're just adding a curse onto yourself when you allow that to happen. But we're supposed to have food for the stranger and the fatherless, but not so much the stranger. We're not in our land. Forget the stranger. Cross him out for now. We're not in our land. But the fatherless and the widow, they're supposed to get their food. The fatherless is somebody who has a mother but no father. Okay, so that would be a woman with her children and no man. How many women are there who have no man in their house, and they're on, welfare, and they're struggling? How about women who are not on welfare and they're just struggling? I raised my children, four of them, without my children's father, because he left the truth, and he gave very little child support. And so I was struggling, but I did it. I was like, you know what? I don't like working for anybody. I started cleaning houses. Okay, but I was still struggling. I was making good money, but not enough to buy a house. So I had to move from Massachusetts, which was expensive, to Kentucky. I stayed there for a year, and then I was able to buy a house. Oh my gosh, it was such a struggle because I'm on my own. But I finally did it. I had to move 1,000 miles away from my friends and family on my own, another state. But I got to ask you a question. What woman does that? What woman with 4 children would have a business? Most women are not me. I am Kayil, according to Proverbs 31, and I'm not, trying to blow myself up. That's just what I am. I had a business with 4 young children. My youngest was like 1 year old, and when she was sick, I would bring her with me to go clean houses because I couldn't call in. I'm the boss. The boss can't call in. Okay, so I'm struggling with my 4 children, but most women are not me. So just because I was able to do it doesn't mean other women can. Okay, most women are not going to move 1,000 miles away from friends and family. That's stupid. That's foolish. But I guess I'm a fool. That's what I did, and I had no help. Okay, and and I had a lot of struggles, and I had no support. It would have been nice to sometimes when I was $50 short and I couldn't buy groceries. It would have been nice that I could go to, the house of Yah and say, yeah, I'm short this week. Can you help me? But there was none. Okay. So I pushed through, I persevered, and it was a struggle, but I did it. But women who are in the truth and without a man, they need your support, not just the widows. I just want to make that clear that the fatherless is a woman with her children. Okay. And I don't think people notice that. They think it's just children walking around with no parents, but it didn't say parentless. It says fatherless. Okay. So who are the tithes for? It's for everybody who is in need, not just the Levites. Levites do the work, but it's for, the fatherless and the widow and the stranger. Yah pays his servants. They've never worked for free. This is something that nobody wants to hear. When I tell it, nobody wants to hear it. Why don't you want to hear that Yah servants did not work for free? Is it because you don't want to give? And this is why the curse is really hot and heavy on us? Numbers 18 and 21. Behold, I have given the children of Louis all the tenth in Yisrael for an inheritance and for their service, which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Okay, the Levites, they don't have a service right now, but we are trying to build the kingdom of Yah, and your 10% is supposed to be put aside for when it's time, and we're supposed to not be broke. Okay, Yah's not going to cause us to win the lottery. He's not going to do that. Okay, I tried actually. I was like, let me see if Yah wants us to have this money. Let me go buy a lottery ticket. Not a gambler, but I bought a ticket. Didn't happen. I took it as a sign. Yeah, he doesn't want us to win the lottery. No, no, no. It has to be an effort from us. And you know what? I teach that men should give dowry. Okay, and this is going to, I'm bringing your understanding. I teach that men should give dowry to women to value the woman, because when he works, he's working so hard, and when he finally gets that money to pay for her, he's not going to be so quick to let her go. And if she knows she's worth that money that he gives, she's going to, her head's going to be high, and she's going to be prideful that, look, a man has valued me. She's not going to be quick to let him go. Okay, unless the money exchange is real low, and then it's not going to serve anything. If you're just going to give a woman a $500 ring, you're not going to value her, and she ain't going to feel valued, and it is what it is. Okay, 500, what is that? What is that? You're barely going to get a diamond that you can hardly see. It is what it is. It's something, but it's not really of value. Anyways, I'm just showing you an example. When you put aside 10%, you are valuing the truth. You're valuing Yah. Yah sees that. If Yah needs money for what he's doing, he's going to cause increase to come to you because you're giving 10%. Okay, you see how that works? So if Yah needs money, he has to give it to you in order for it to come to him, because you are the door. In essence, you're making a door for Yah. Okay, you're saying, yeah, I'm the door. I'm going to give 10% of everything. Go ahead. You can, give me lots of blessings, and you get 10%. You're making a deal. You're telling Yah his service of being your Elohim will be paid, and there it is. And then he could fund his priests. He could fund what he's doing, his singers, the people who make Aaron's clothes, the houses. I mean, you got to pay the electric bill, right? The gas bill, things have to get funded in order for the truth to be here. So what does tithes mean? Let's look in Strong's chapter 46. Wait, not chapters. Strong's 46 and 43. Okay. The word for tithes comes from the word 10, which is Aishar. So it's Ma'aishar. Ma'aishar is the word for tithes. And so you can check it out in Strong's and to confirm. But if you read my book, Primitive Sign Language, you know what the Mayan symbol, which is the water symbol, is doing in this word. I don't need to tell you. You should see it. Okay. So Ma'aishar means from the 10. Okay. So tithes is not just 10% of the increase of food and cattle, but also the increase of valuables. You work for money, and money is valuable. So that's the takeaway. Aaron the high priest looked royal. The reason was strictly superficial. Why did Aaron have to have linen garments? Number one, there is a wonderful scientific research that is out there, and I've put it out there on my Instagram, but I didn't make a video about it. I'll make a video, Yah willing, soon about it. Okay, and this scientific study proved that linen garments, 100% linen garments, had a high frequency, a very high frequency, the highest frequency. But wool also had the same high frequency. Wool and linen, when you combine it, comes to zero frequency, and that's why it makes you also sick. But linen and wool separately, when you wear all wool garments separately, you're on 1,000 frequency. When you wear a linen garment, you're on 1,000 frequency. Come together, it's zero, you get sick. That's why Yah says not to mix it. But linen garments in general was the choice garments for Aaron, but it was to be made for glory and beauty. Exodus 28 and 2. And thou shalt make set apart garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty. Okay, right there. I believe that the high frequency garment probably protected Aaron from the high frequency energy that Yah gave off. Okay, but it was supposed to be done beautifully. It wasn't supposed to be, a sack over his head. I mean, they could have went cheaply if Yah wanted it, but Yah wanted Aaron to represent. You don't think he wants you to represent? I was selling clothes for the longest time, and I did it out of love. Okay, yes, it costs money because it costs me money, and my time isn't free. I have 4 children. Okay, when I was doing Hebrew garments, I was raising 4 children. You can't possibly expect me to work for free, and I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't have done it. I would have did something else. Okay, but the garments, they're costing us more money because linen's gone up. When I first started sewing, linen was like $10 a yard, no lie, about 12 years ago. Now, go ahead, jump YouTube, Joanne.com, and see that the garments, the linen fabric, a yard, I think now it's like $23 a yard. So it started at 10, now it's 23. Every year, it seems to go up $2. One year went up $6. So I try to use the coupon, and it's still at least $15 a yard. So $15 a yard, one long garment is 5 yards worth. You're looking at 15 times 5. That's a lot of money, and you don't even have a garment yet. I'm just talking fabric. The linen thread is $10. So Aaron's garment is expensive. Okay, it's expensive because the fabric's expensive, but it's expensive because the time is being taken to add embroidery and to make it beautiful and glorious. Aaron looked like as rich as a king. Okay, Aaron was like the image, the image of the extravagant Israelite. So it was made with linen, and it was dyed with costly dye. It had extensive embroidery. It had gold. It had precious stone on it. It literally had bells on the fringes. Okay, this is Aaron's garment. So homely servants, the idea of a homely servant is a pagan doctrine, and I do not agree with that. The scriptures don't agree with that. Yah's servant isn't supposed to look homely. It's supposed to represent. No one works for free. Psalms 128:2. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Joyful shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. So if we're working for free, we're not going to be happy. We're not going to even eat the labor of our hands. We're basically working for nothing. We end up being worse than a whore if you work for free. If I'm asking a fee for any work, and people are shaming me, thinking I should work for free, shame on you. You do not need to buy any of my books, but you also don't need to shame me for selling valuable information that's not even out there. And for me to get paid for my time, and for me to fund volume 2, which is going to take me 3 times the effort of volume 1. If you enjoy the first book, volume 2, it's going to be spectacular because it's going to show you all the hand signs of all the words in the Bible. It's going to tell you all the symbolic meanings, and it's going to help you speak Manakati. Eventually, I'll have to do videos. Even then, that will be my next effort, and that will take time. Maybe I'll do it simultaneously when I write the book. But the book is being written right now, and it does need your support. Do you work hours upon hours and expect not to get paid? I know you don't. You are in contrary if you think people should work for free. Ezekiel 16:33. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to thy lovers, and hirest them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. Yah is speaking to the Israelites. When the Israelites committed whoredom with the other nations, the Israelites paid the other nations to get the information that they had, so much that they hired him and had him on a payroll. Okay, so not only did they commit whoredom, they paid for that whoredom. So the nations didn't necessarily entice the Israelites. The Israelites paid for it. The nations weren't trying to give away their information for free. Israelites have been paying for the whoredom from day one. Okay, and so that's shameful. And so Yah said in verse 34, and the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. So Yah is basically saying it's strange that you're giving your lovers money to commit whoredom with you, but you're not getting any money for it. So why would you leave Yah? Why would you leave Yah? All these people who are supporting the Christian religion, for example, these Israelites who may or may not know they're Israelites, they're supporting Christian religion. They're paying for the whoredom because Yah's not with them. Yah's not with them. They don't have the truth. Imagine being a Muslim and paying for the lies, giving 10% for the whoredom. You're committing whoredom and you're paying tithes. So when you pay 10%, you better make sure that that person is with Yah, because if not, you're paying to commit whoredom. It's really interesting. As I was speaking with you, bringing out the scripture, I had a better understanding when I was bringing it out that us funding these other religions is us doing Ezekiel 16 and 33 to 34. If you're not funding the truth and you're funding a lie, you are funding yourself being a whore. Worse than a whore, you're a contrary whore, basically. Even a whore gets gifts. The priests got gifts, the singers got gifts, and the laborers of Yah. So people got rewarded for their efforts, okay? And that's the point. So we're supposed to give tithes. That's 10%. But we're all supposed to give more than tithes. Did you know that? We're accountable for 10%, but there's other things we're supposed to give. Let's look at that. Exodus 34 and 19. All that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling among the cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt reckon with the lamb. And if thou redeem him not, then thou shalt break his neck. And all the firstborn of thy sons shalt thou redeem, and none shall appear empty. None shall appear empty. Have you been appearing empty to Yah? Deuteronomy 16 and 10. More tithes, more contributions besides the 10%. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto Yahweh thy Elohim, with a tribute of a freewill offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto Yahweh thy Elohim, accordingly as Yahweh thy Elohim hath given you privileges or blessings. So 10% is supposed to be given, and also a freewill offering. So look at that, more than 10%. So if you believe that tithes is just things you grow, as far as food and cattle, which I don't believe, it's also free will offering. Exodus 34 and 21. And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whose spirit made willing. They brought Yahweh's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his service, and for the holy garments. So the people, out of the goodness of their heart and the desire to see a proper kingdom to represent, brought offerings to Yah. So it wasn't in a particular amount. Some people could have gave 25%. Some people could have gave 1%, 10%, whatever. It's whatever they wanted, okay? And it was for the service that the tabernacle provided, and for the holy garments, which was not cheap. And they came, both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted, and brought bracelets, earrings, gold, tablets, all jewels of gold. And every man that offered an offering of gold unto Yahweh. So this is an offering of gold. We offered gold to Yah. Gold is money. Our ancestors didn't think the word was free. The problem is you think that a word is all that the truth is. The truth is not just the word. Um, what is it? I made a video. Was it 2 weeks ago? Could have been 2 weeks ago. I put out information. Check out ithoughty.com about the theocratic government of Yah. Basically, the video is called Religion versus Being an Israelite. In this video, I talk about how we're not in a religion. We are in a theocratic government. We are a nation in exile. We don't have a land, but we are still a people. We're waking up to who we are. They try to hide it, but we know who we are. Yah woke us up. We're waking up, okay? But we're supposed to be in a theocratic government. The Bible is the has the laws of this theocratic government. And theocratic, you should watch that video so you can understand. Okay, and so the government of Yah needs support, and that is the tithes. Okay, but it's also the free will offerings. It's also the offerings of gold. But we also gave more. We gave more than 10%. Let's read what else we gave. Okay, the word was not free because we're not in a religion. We are in a theocratic government. And so that's what I want you to understand. If it was just a word, then I guess it's free. You can speak freely, right? But if it's something of value, like a whole nation and a government, it's not free. The government of Yah is not free. It requires your funding and your efforts. You're not supposed to appear empty. Leviticus 23 and 37. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be a holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering, a meat offering, a sacrifice, a drink offering, everything upon this day, besides the Sabbath of Yahweh, besides your gifts, and besides your vows, and besides all your free will offerings, which ye give unto Yah. So right there, we see it mentioned of offerings of fire. We see meat offerings, we see burnt offerings, drink offerings. And so to be clear, this is besides the meat offerings that you do on the Sabbath day, the meat offerings you do when you give gifts, besides the meat offerings that you do when you give vows, and besides the meat offerings that you do when you give free will offerings. So this is very clear that we give more than 10%. We give offerings, okay? And we give things freely that we want to, like when you make a vow, you're supposed to give a sacrifice. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. I'm sure it's in Numbers, but we always gave. You know, giving shows our enthusiasm to Yah because we're given from our labor and we're funding the truth. The truth needs your support. Buy the truth and sell it not. Buy wisdom and instruction and understanding. That's Proverbs 23 and 23. So when you say, or when people say, you know, the word of Yah is free, it's free. Right here, it says the truth is not free. It says you're supposed to buy wisdom and instruction and understanding. Like if it costs you money, you're supposed to, you know, want to go pay for it, you know, and don't even sell it. Once you got it in your hand, you don't let it go. So, you know, valuable information, if it costs you money, you should spend that money. That's Proverbs. My last words. Um, so Yah's word is not free because it's not just the word. We are in a theocratic government. We're a nation in exile. We are coming back. People need to be awoken still. There's still a lot of work to do, and the truth needs your support. It's not just me. I am bringing the language, and I'm translating certain scriptures that I see that's mistranslated, and I'm trying to do my part. But there's other people who need your support. When you see someone actually bringing truth and they're not lying, and you see them moving, and you got to be careful not to support somebody in whoredom, someone who's not really doing Yah's work, because then it's going to be said that you're committing, you're paying to commit whoredom. So you don't want to be a Christian, number one, and pay for lies and support lies, and you don't want be a Muslim or any other nation or any other in a religion and support their lies. We are in a theocratic government. Our nation has to be built up, and we're supposed to put 10% aside. Um, so we need schools for our children. We need congregational community centers. We need many types of uplifting organization. So much needs to be done, and it requires money, hands of service, and gifts. So all the work that needs to be done, it requires money. We need to financially support the truth. We do not have, you need to know, because we do not give. Stop saying Yah's word is free so you don't have to give. When people say the truth is free and the information is free, they just don't want to give. It's not free. The time that somebody who teaches Yah's word puts to make that the information they're giving out, it requires time. It's not free to them. It's free to you if you're stealing from them. Okay, and my idea that I think we all should do, we should, like I think I mentioned it briefly, we should open a bank account and we should put aside our 10% of the money we earn. Yah said that he would cause us to increase if we do that. And then we should fund the truth. Okay, you can put it aside and wait until you see something, that's going to happen that needs to be funded, and you give it. Okay, my idea that I believe we should do, or I think we should do, is you see that they're trying to do concentration camps. They're trying to, they're trying to make us all get vaccinated, which is going to cause us to be infertile. And we don't want to be part of that. Okay, I say we buy land and we do we build houses on that land, and we start farming and living off that land. Okay, I wanted to leave and go to Costa Rica, but Costa Rica is doing forced vaccination. No, not forced. They're doing mandatory vaccinations, and everywhere is. I thought that was going to be open for me, and it's not, so I'm not going. So it looks like I'm being America. Because this is where I'm from, and what am I supposed to do? Like they're making it hard for everybody to leave. So we're gonna have to buy land, and we're gonna have to secure our land. And I believe we should buy land and work to build communities in this land, build a school. It's gonna require money. It's gonna require money to buy the land. And my one idea that I thought would be nice would be for us to have like a trailer home park type of land where if you come visit, you bring your trailer, and you don't like it, you leave. So basically it makes it where an area, the whole land doesn't have to be like a little trailer park, but it's an area where people can come visit with their trailers and to see if they want to stay and build. And if they want to stay and build, they go in, they stay, and then they maybe eventually they'll stay and they build a house. This will helpfully help us to come together and do something, because the truth needs funding, and we have to do something. So basically what I'm saying is to fund the truth. Leave 10% to fund the truth, but it's not just 10%. After you leave 10% to fund the truth, if the truth needs more money, you have to give it. You see that there was more than 10% that was being given by the people. When you go to a restaurant, you can't give 10%, you give 15, right? And if the waiter does a great job, you give 25% or 20. At least I do. So I'm just showing you that 10% is the bottom. After that, you give more if you have it. But Yah puts it in your heart. He doesn't require over 10%, but at least 10%. If you don't get 10%, he says you're robbing him. So if you're not funding truth, you are robbing Yah. Every single week you get paid. Do you even give 10% toward the truth and towards the kingdom? Just really think about that. Maybe most of us are not doing that, and we need to put aside money. So thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't yet given your support to me, I would really appreciate it. And I I think that it's good for you to go to get my books. If you go to primitivesilentlanguage.com, I would rather you get a copy of my books right now than to support me at my Patreon. After you get my books, if you can support my Patreon, that would be great. Okay, but I do want you to have the books so you can be on the same page as I am, because I reference my book, especially Primitive Sign Language, a lot. And this is what I need you to know. I need you to know about the symbols. And then go ahead and give monthly support if you can. Or you can just give a donation. Feel free. So buy the truth. And by the way, the level that is $21 a month, you do get access to manakati.com, which will show you the hand signs. I'm very slow in making these videos because time is not there. But I hope to see you, and shalom. I hope this video has served you well, and Yah be with you. Yah increase you with the 10% that you'll put aside, Yah willing, to support the truth. Shalom.